and it looks like Lafayette is on its way to winning the Kentucky High School State Basketball Championship.
There's no doubt about it. Kentucky is home to one of the richest high school sports traditions in America. From last-second buzzer beaters to unforgettable state championship runs, from legendary coaches to small-town heroes, these stories are woven into the very fabric of communities across the Bluegrass. At the Sports History Foundation, we believe these moments, these legacies, deserve to be preserved, celebrated, and shared with generations to come. And now, we are bringing these stories to you like never before. Welcome to Sports History Now, the newly launched podcast from the Sports History Foundation that takes you back to Kentucky's greatest high school sports legends and most unforgettable moments of all time. Hosted by two-time World Series champion Doug Flynn and the iconic voice of the Kentucky Sweet 16, Randy Mills.
Hello everybody, I'm Doug Flynn, and man, am I excited to be hosting, or co-hosting I should say, Sports History Now with my good buddy, Mr. Randy Mills.
Thank you so much, Doug. You know, I can't wait to get back with you and, oh my goodness, just share these fabulous sports stories, some of the various speakers we have lined up. It's going to be phenomenal.
Well, here's who we got coming up. Now, if you're a high school nut like I am, and you start hearing these names, you're going to want to know the stories. First of all, how about Paul Andrews, the shot heard round the state? Wow.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're still talking about that. Chris Lofton in Mason County. Every time he stepped foot on the floor, he'd score 30, wouldn't he? Or 40.
Three-pointer.
And then my buddy, old Bryan Station, got to say it, on Bryan Station, Fight Defenders Fight, the Goose, Jack Givens. Of course, we remember the 41 he got when he was at UK, but man, this guy was such a smooth high school player.
Absolutely. And that's, as we talk about these high school sports stories, you know, Jack made the Sweet 16 in both his sophomore and senior years for Bryan Station.
That's right.
We want to hear about that. That's not been talked about, you know, as much. And then teams, you know, there's only been one undefeated high school baseball team.
Oh, that's right.
In our state's history.
Madison Central.
1940-0.
That's right.
Perfect team.
So I get out of baseball in 1986. I got to come home, and guess who's playing in 1987 in the state tournament?
Whoa,
maybe my favorite team.
baby.
And then it's Richie Farmer, of course, in Clay County. And they were unbelievable for a couple of years.
First mountain team since 1956 to win the state championship. It had been 31 years. And Coach Bobby Keith's Clay County Tigers, Richie Farmer, Russ Chadwell, the boys brought it back home to the mountains. For all the mountains.
And you know, my dad told me right before they played their final game against Allen Houston in the first year, Bobby Keith's in the hallway, my dad says, hey, Bobby, good luck. He says, is that your son, Doug? He said, yeah. He said, are you through with baseball? Won't you come in here and talk to these guys before the championship game? And I'm thinking, that's pressure. And they go out and win the state tournament. You got to be kidding. You know, so many stories, but so little time, too.
Well, your pep talk worked with the overtime victory over Ballard that night. Oh, gosh, we're just going to, just like we're doing now, Doug, laughs, such a good time, but the thing is, it's going to be recorded forever.
Yeah.
So generations yet to come can hear our podcast with these very special guests
and you know,
that we're going to have.
And some of the things we're going to talk about may bring a tear to some people's eyes too, because we're going to go back in history, and you may be sitting there just remembering, well, I mean exactly when this shot was taken and the joy that it brought you then, or maybe some of the sadness because you got beat. But you're going to hear the true story though.
It brings you back to, I may have been in the arena or in the football stadium or the baseball stadium at the time, or maybe I heard it on the radio, but it brings that back. And for those who weren't there at the time, or who it happened before, maybe they were born, hey, that's going to be pretty cool too for them to understand how these communities develop the sports programs that they have. So, you know, we're going to be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your favorite podcast, you're going to have Sports History Now happening.
You got me fired up right now. So we're going to see you all real soon, and we're going to relive the sports history that many of us will never, ever forget.
Let's do it, Doug. Absolutely.